I get out the horn and I kind of start playing. I run into whatever that limitation is, trying to figure out a way to solve it.
But it really stuck with me. I was like, baby steps. I really, truly try and impress upon my students and upon myself. I try and remember none of these concepts that we hear are going to come all at once. And it's okay to really go slow.
These two clips make me want to practice all day long, every day. So I would like to talk about practicing, and not the dull way, but the one that inspires you and motivates you to keep practicing. So let's just make it 100% clear what Chris Potter and Joel Frahm is talking about here. So they're talking about practicing. Chris Potter says when he picks up the horn, he just plays something. That's his practice. And on his way, he fixes the limits he might be having. I could imagine Chris Potter doing something like this. Picking up the horn, improvising some. So I'll do the same. I'll play this line. For example, landing on the D on the third beat. That sounded off. Then take some time out and practice it. Find new ways, not hitting that D. So basically I make up new ideas, finding a way to get around that D. So Chris Potter is basically saying, when you are playing and when things are not happening the way you want it, stop and fix it. In a bit I'll get into different situations that needs fixing. Look into how we can fix it, what tools we're going to use and what procedures. What Joel Frahm is talking about is a big part of the problem solution. Baby steps, the idea of solving the problems but taking it one step at a time. It's amazing. If I, for example, need to play this line fluently, I need a lot of fixing. So I'll apply Joel Fram's baby steps on it. The first step might be picking up these triplets and training triplets in the scale that you can use them in your playing. Take the most low-hanging fruits first and start practicing these and then apply them into your playing. So to now we have two steps. Limitations, where do you go wrong? And baby steps, how to fix your limitations in a very nice way. And then there's a third thing.
And it's okay to really go slow.
1 minute practice makes you 1 minute better. When practicing any exercise or any lick or any tune or any style, when you practice 1 minute, this makes you 1 minute better. What it takes is doing the 1 minute practice very focused on the topic at hand. Let's get rolling and figure out how we can get very inspired and motivated practice out of every minute. I know this topic is really abstract and different from every player there is, so look at this from your perspective of the music.
I run into whatever that limitation is.
I'll start by the Chris Potter thing, finding your own limitations. One way of looking for things to practice is basically just start playing like Chris Potter, play anything. But always start in a musical setting, you need to add music into everything. Start by playing a tune, any tune. I really like Take the A Train, so I'll start by this one. So when I was playing this, I started hearing this idea. Having these thirds going down the scale on the D major, and on the E7 I wanted the opposite line going up. On that E7, the E7 really did not come out how I expected it. Here's the thing what Chris Potter says.
Trying to figure out a way to solve it.
Stop yourself and fix your limitation. So what did you do and what did you not do? The thing I do is often hum the line I expect to be hearing. It's obvious for me that the rhythm I want on the E7 are some triplet stuff. And if you have another sound in your head, stop and find out what sound you have in your head.
I run into whatever that limitation is.
So this is the first step, your limitations. So now we're digging into what Joel Frahm said.
But it really stuck with me. I was like, baby steps, and it's okay to really go slow.
Analyze it and take baby steps. So I want to fix the line on the E7, adding some triplets in there because this is what I hear. I start building a triplet line into the idea. And I just take 3 triplets. I'm not using a full line, just a little bit because I'm taking baby steps. And after that, I of course add more triplets. Because I'm doing baby steps. And by adding even more triplets, the full line could come to look like this. So the baby steps basically continue after you have played the line, after you have worked out the line. Then you need to practice it, taking the small bits. So now you have heard it, can you actually play it? So here comes more baby steps. You need to practice the line you have actually found out that you want to play, that you are hearing. So now I take this little part of the end line and adding it into an exercise over the B melodic minor scale. I practice it so that it becomes workable and that I can use it in my playing. And the great thing about this is it's not a fast process.
And it's okay to really go slow.
You do not need to have any time limits on this. Just practice it till it really sits there.
I'll play that phrase until it subsumes into my body, until it becomes just physical memory and I don't have to think about it anymore.
Keep absorbing it till you own it. And this brings me to the third law of practicing. Try setting a time for 1 minute to get 1 minute better. Add some goals to the 1 minute. I want to achieve this within this 1 minute. And when you practice really focused, you take a huge step towards your goal. And in this minute, you become one piece with the music. So what happens if it does not happen within 1 minute? Then we go back to the second law of practicing.
Baby steps.
The exercise was too much, too long, too difficult, whatever. Let's say we still want to play triplets. So we do play triplets. Just some other triplets. We played up the D major scale. I can also have limits in my technical practice. Take it slower. Take a step down. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Now play the triplets up the scale in slow tempo.
And it's okay to really go slow.
Play for 1 minute, see what happens. This is quite a magic process that happens in your head when you're doing something focused and you're doing it right. And exactly this process of taking baby steps, practicing 1 minute, getting 1 minute better is what inspires me to keep on practicing, to want to practice all the time. If you want all this material, all the licks and all the exercises belonging into the Take the A train, giving you a chance to practice the 1 minute time, doing the baby steps, finding your limitations, taking it a step down, go to Patreon, find the lesson manual PDF and download it. It's super easy. The baby steps, the 1 minute, is not about getting there now, it's about getting there. Now turn it around. You have used some time on the exercise and now you can actually add it into other licks. So when you start improvising, start using these triplets that you have trained yourself to. So when you start playing licks or lines over tunes, start using the material you have trained, so the triplets. In this way, when you're training this in baby steps, you get a sound, you get a manner of playing, and you get the sound into your ears. You start to automatically hear the lines of the triplets. And you start adding them into your music like this. They actually do become a natural part of your playing. And after some time, maybe you can even turn back to the other exercise that was too difficult and start practicing this one and get this into your playing. Add this into a line like this. Triplets all over the place. Limitations, baby steps, 1 minute practice, 1 minute better. What really excites me about this is when I invest 1 minute in training this, I get better. I have less limitations, my playing gets better, my phrasing gets better. Want to dig into this? Get the lesson manual PDF on Patreon, where I've made all these licks and lines over the great stair standard Take the A train. Licks, lines, exercises you can practice, you can divide up. There's difficult parts and there's easy parts. I try to split it up, so I already found limitations, I added in baby steps, and then I applied to new music. When the masters are talking like this, we should listen. In this video, Joel Fram, Chris Potter and Sonny Rollins are features talking about the 2 rules of jazz, how the pros play.